Hey guys, this is EA Koetting, and I'm here with JS Garrett, and we are just going to talk some crazy black magic. I don't know that we even have a theme of what we're talking about today. Just kind of wanted to catch up and talk about what's going on in the magical world and what we're up to. So, how's it going, brother?
Doing great, brother. Always a pleasure
Okay.
to jump on with you. Dude, I love these conversations we have more than anything else that I do. Like, seriously, we always get into some good shit. And like you said, we never really have like a script or anything. We just kind of have an idea of what we're going to talk about, which is black magic.
hmm Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Well, let me just start out with this then. Stuff is popping off in the magical world. A lot of portals have been opened. Uh, the veil is thinner than I've ever seen it, and I'm experiencing more supernatural reality than ever before. I mean, it's just day after day, it just keeps getting peeled back. I am seeing it's interesting because right now, actually, just like the past few months, I've been seeing a lot of my past workings catching up. Like some of the things that maybe I had given up on even working, all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's that again. Oh, cool. So I don't know. Well, yeah, what's been going on your side, dude?
I've noticed the same thing. Not only has there been a lot of what I would call supernatural phenomena that has occurred in my own personal life, but as well as what you just said, like rituals that I'd done in the past, like experiments that I thought failed. Like I was just like, okay, well that was a cool experiment. I learned something from it. And then like boom. It's like you said, like I really think that the key to manifestation a lot of times is just forgetting about it and letting go of it. Anytime you sit there and tap your feet and you're like, oh, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? Like, yeah, you're like you said a long time ago, like, you know what? As soon as you stop asking me that, motherfucker, that's when it's gonna happen. And yeah, I'm seeing results from rites that I did years ago that I completely forgotten about. And it's like it slaps you in the face. It's like the spirits will put their signature on it, like you said, and a lot of other people that I know and talk to on a regular basis have been experiencing very crazy phenomena, like very crazy happenings. I mean, I can't get into anybody else's personal life too much, but really awesome, crazy shit. And so I got to wonder, like, with all these astrological portals. I mean, hell, even the Pope's opening portals apparently. And then we got this giant creature raising from the depths of the Mariana Trench. They're talking about it might actually be Leviathan. They got sound recordings of these loud roars from underneath the ocean that literally sound like a monster. And I'm like, yes, I want to see him.
Well, that is another thing is we do have, like in our own in our little microcosm of black magic, we're interacting a lot really directly with this stuff. We're calling Leviathan and having conversations and stuff. But then also in the outside world, for everybody's perspective is starting to get shifted. As all of the things that used to be supernatural, it's like everything seems to be bubbling up to the surface right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think people are realizing more than ever at this point in history, especially the fact that there's like cameras everywhere. Everybody has a camera in their back pocket. Everybody has a cell phone. We're catching more and more cryptids, supernatural creatures, things like elves and shit that like are supposed to be mythical, along with a lot of aliens or UFOs, whatever you want to call them, as well as like ghosts on like nanny cams. Like nanny cams in infants' bedrooms. They're I was watching that God is paranormal something or another, Paranormal Unveiled, where people were catching crazy, scary shit on nanny cams in their infants' bedrooms. Like these fucking scary ass looking monster type things that are corporeal. That are standing over these cribs and messing with these kids. And I'm like, what? That's why I never, ever let my child sleep in the other end of the house. Like, because I've always known these things were real. Okay, I'm like, no, not my kid. Not only have I read too many true crime novels about motherfuckers crawling in bedrooms, bedroom windows in the middle of the night, I was like, no, I intentionally bought a house that had like a little office section that I could turn into a nursery to where my child was sleeping in my bedroom, just right here in her crib, because yeah, I could absolutely not sleep if my kid was in the other end of the room behind a closed door. So more and more stuff like that is getting captured on camera, and more people are going like, holy shit, maybe we should pay attention to this. And I get more and more emails and consultations and things like that, like, how can I protect myself and my family from things like this? And yeah.
Well, I would love to actually hear what you tell those people, but before you answer, I want to give my answer because I've been getting the same thing from a lot of people that it's like there's an explosion of spiritual activity around people. Some people find that they're all of a sudden out of nowhere being attacked, or they've got poltergeists or whatever, and so it wakes them up. So here's what I've been telling people. The basic, you clear your space, sage, smudge, and all that basic stuff. But more than anything, this is a call to action. This is waking you up. Don't go back to sleep, because that's what a lot of people want. I hear it all the time, is like, I just want things to go back to the way they are. Well, they can't. I'm sorry. Kansas is freaking gone. And now you've got to figure out how to walk along this yellow brick road. And so with that, once you've been activated spiritually, at that point you've got to just dive into it. At that point you've got to take it actively, become a sorcerer or a witch or whatever, seer, prophetess, whatever title you want to give it to yourself. But you've got to become active in your spirituality at that point, because it's being active with you. And so you can either get crushed by it, and that's what I feel like. Honestly, I feel like all these forces, well, not all of them, but most of them, are trying to crush you and make you their slave. And so you got to be careful. But yeah, what are your thoughts on how to, when people come to you with that and they're like, what do I do with all this crap that's going on? What's your advice?
I mean, the first thing I do is talk to them and ask them a lot of questions to try to, figure out what it is that they're dealing with, and depending on the phenomena that's taking place, that gives you pretty good clues as to different things that you may or may not be dealing with. But the first advice that I give them, other than cleansing the area of the house, the property, performing an exorcism over everything, is then turning their home into a fortress. All right, specifically with the fifth pinnacle of Mars. Like if someone's having sleep attacks, or if their child's having sleep attacks, I will have them, I actually have it tattooed on my forearm. All right, because I used to suffer from sleep attacks and night terrors. Haven't had one since I got that tatted. All right, so I'll have them print that out on a big piece of cardstock, and I will tell them to trace over it with an ink pen very carefully, and charge and open that sigil. And then I advise them to blood it, to trace over it in their blood. I'll tell them to put that in a picture frame and hang it above their bed, or whoever's bed that is being terrorized at night. And that almost, I've never had anyone contact me and be like, hey, I did this and it didn't work. They're just like, yeah, I did this. I put that seal above my bed, and I haven't had a night terror since, or a sleep attack, sleep paralysis, whatever you want to call it. And the other thing is the Vodon seal of protection. I actually messaged you not too long ago because I couldn't find it. My autographed book that you published was stolen from me, that had that seal in it, and I couldn't find it on the internet. I was like, hey man, can you send me a picture of this? Because I was trying to lace somebody up. Like I literally I will either paint it. If it's my front door, then I'll just draw it and then paint it in blood. All right, because I don't care if somebody sees it or not. All right, but other people, they might not be willing to have that showed off for their family members and whatnot coming over. So I'll tell them to put it in like a picture frame or something that they can take down when they need to, like whenever they have company. But that alone, like it says in the book, it works. It protects your home from spiritual attacks as well as physical attacks. It makes your home invisible to burglars. It makes your home invisible to law enforcement that might try to terrorize you. And it just provides you with like a barrier of protection. The other thing would be like a crystal grid. Only I use black tourmaline. I'll tell them to get a chunk of black tourmaline and put it in the four corners of their house. Or if they got different shaped, put it in every corner of the foundation of the house, a chunk of black tourmaline, as well as carry one in your pocket. And then it gets even more in depth depending on what type of symptoms there are and what they're dealing with. Sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board and get a little bit more specific or figure out what the hell you're dealing with. But in general, those techniques work very well. And one other thing I got to mention, Robert Bruce, Satan rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but he was a good friend. We love him. We miss him. He had some very specific techniques in some of his books and courses, one of which includes electrically grounded bed sheets. Like, he gives instructions. I know you're familiar with it, but he gives instructions in his book. You guys can pick it up. I think it's still available at becomealivinggod.com, right? Yeah. He explains to you, he developed that for children that were suffering from spiritual attacks in their sleep, electric grounded bed sheets. And apparently when these things manifest, according to the eyewitnesses and the victims that witnessed this, like the entities would go to touch them and they would get sucked into the bed sheet and disappear. So there's a lot of different techniques. You can put iron under your bed. I have an iron railroad spike underneath my mattress on both sides. There's just, it's on and on and on. I say protect yourself from everything. Turn your home into a fortress, literally.
Yeah. You know, that's funny. I've got these clients out of Las Vegas that have been they've just been hounded by people who are trying to magically take them out so they can take all their money, is what it's coming to. And so they've been harassed in their home. And some of the things you've talked about are some of the things I've told them to do as well. I'm actually, if they continue having problems, I'm going to give them that Mars seal though, because that's one I haven't done for them yet. But that's exactly what they did. They got to the point that she actually emailed me the other day, and she's like, at home we feel great, but as soon as we get in our car and go anywhere, our car starts breaking down. We start having car problems. We start fighting in the car. We'll have people acting aggressive towards us. They're like, we're being attacked in the car now. I was like, well, yeah, you've made your home into that fortress. Now do everything that we've done over the past several months and just extend that to your car. Go sage smudge every part of your car. Get underneath it with the sage and sage smudge the engine. Put some kind of amulet in your car. Driving is one of the most dangerous things we do, and so absolutely these things that you use to protect your home definitely protect your car. I've got something hanging. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but I got something hanging in my rearview mirror that catches curses. And so things that should have killed me cracks my windshield. I got several fucking cracks in my windshield that every one of them is a curse that was supposed to kill me. The thing I've got hanging just deflects it and shoves it right back. But then it hits the glass, and broken glass traps spirits, so that's okay. But yeah, so make sure you're doing something in your car as well.
Yeah, I've seen that thing that you're talking about. I actually asked you about it. You were taking me to the airport or something. Like, what is this, man? You explained it to me. It was really cool. It was really badass. Yeah. We've done similar things. A lot of my clients, they'll buy like a master key amulet. That's like a really badass protection seal. And they usually end up getting 2 or 3, like one for their spouse or children. And they also will hang it from the rear view mirror like a protection seal. I've got one hanging in my rear view mirror along with
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of times when people hire me for rituals, and I'm like, dude, you could do this yourself. Cast this love spell yourself. Do this revenge ritual yourself. But this is one of the topics that honestly, there's no doubt every time somebody comes to me for protection or to take a curse off of them or this kind of work that we're talking about right now, that's where it always hits me. Like, I'm definitely, like, sometimes saving people's lives. I'm giving them something that is of value that when you're under attack, because I know I've turned to you when I've been under attack, and likewise, when you're under attack, it's hard for you to be able to punch your way out of that. And so that is a moment, actually, just as we're talking about, that is a moment that is a really good idea to turn to somebody, hire us to help you with a ritual, turn to somebody else to help you with that, because those are the times, honestly, that you're not able to help yourself, that you're just, that you've been so weakened. Or usually when I'm cursing somebody, the first thing I do is I bind them. And so if somebody's cursing you, there's a very good likelihood you're bound. So getting that outside help, just as we're talking about that clients we've helped, like, dude, it is very clear. These are the clients I have calling me, in tears, thanking me for what I've done for them.
Yeah. I've experienced that many times myself. And there's no shame in reaching out for help. I've reached out for you or to you for help multiple times, as well as some other very good friends of mine, practitioners. Whenever you're the target, whenever you're in it yourself, one of the main things that I've noticed when being attacked is confusion. All right, like mental, the opposite of mental clarity, like just totally, like your mind is clouded and you're not sure which way to turn. And whenever you start to attempt to like dig your way out of the hole or out of the curse, like not only do you experience a lot of ritual resistance and like things going wrong, you could have like a pipe burst in your ceiling and flood your house, like, a flat tire, just lots of little shit that I call ritual resistance goes wrong in order to keep you from fighting your way out of that. And so, like, just because I'm a professional practitioner myself doesn't mean that I'm above like hiring another professional practitioner like yourself or someone else to help me in an area that they specialize in. I've seen that with a lot of people. Like they'll start offering services, ritual for hire, tarot readings, things like that, and then the ego gets in the way. They're just like, okay, well, I'm a professional sorcerer, so I shouldn't have to be like hiring anybody else to help me or asking anybody else for help because I'm the professional here. I should be able to handle it on my own. All right, well, that's not always the case. And maybe you could handle it on your own, but why the fuck would you if you have a fucking brother like P.A. Koetting or J.D. Temple, or Joseph Nunn? Like, I can name them all day long, like good friends, people that I would call first if I was in a pickle. Like, why wouldn't I ask for help if I'm in a pickle? It doesn't take anything away from you. And just because I might be like say I'm really good at a handful of things. I'm not an expert at anything, but I do have like my little areas of expertise, things that I specialize in that I, might be an expert at. Okay. But I'm not an expert at anything. I don't think I'm an expert at anything, period, but definitely not an expert at everything. So if I know another practitioner that specializes in an area that I need help in, that I have no experience in, then yeah, I'm calling them up, be like, hey, I want to purchase a service from you. It doesn't take anything away from me or anybody else.
No, it doesn't. Well, and with that ritual resistance, that magical resistance that you face, when you're getting cursed, there is this it's like a little built-in mechanism that just happens to be there. It's not like the magician intends to put it there, but there's this little thing that makes you make excuses for the curse.
Yeah.
What the little saying I've had to tell myself is, you cannot afford to ignore the signs.
Yeah.
Because that's what you start doing. You start seeing all the signs, and you're like, "Oh, I couldn't be cursed. Nobody could curse me. Oh, it's just somebody on the line." You start making all these excuses of why it couldn't.
The denial phase.
The denial phase, yeah. And that is where you absolutely need to kick yourself in the ass and reach out for help, because it is like, dude, that's you're sliding quickly. As soon as you start denying it, that's when the car accidents and the health issues and all that starts coming.
That's something I've ran into so many times myself. Because one, your ego doesn't want to allow you to admit yourself that somebody has successfully fucked with you or landed a hit. It's like one thing will happen after another, and you're just like, okay, not everything's a curse. Okay, this shit's going wrong. Doesn't mean I'm being cursed. Like, I've got my protections in place. I've got this. I've got that. It's just, shit happens. Shit happens. You want to rationalize things, but whenever too many things go wrong, like things can just as easily go right for you as they can go wrong for you. Okay, so when everything starts going wrong and it's too much to be a coincidence, then you have to acknowledge, like, hey, I need to do something here. Something is fucking with me. It might not be another practitioner. It might not be another person. It could be a lot of different things. But they say like you can't fix a problem unless you admit that you have one. All right. So recognizing that something is going wrong, and if you can fix it yourself, that's great. But if I can't, then I have no trouble reaching out to you or any of my other brothers that have always had my back.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this, this is another interesting thing that I'm seeing in this part of the conversation. I absolutely cannot name names, but behind the scenes, there are a lot of really powerful black magicians that are making alliances, and there are those of us that are getting together behind the scenes and doing group rituals that nobody ever knows about. And this is an interesting shift because I'll tell you what, back in my YouTube days, every single ritual, every meditation I did, I had my camera in my face. And one of the things I've learned is no, there's certain things for the public and there are certain things just for me. And with that, there are powerful things happening behind the scenes that are stirring up world events. We are playing with the whole world right now, and it's working. I don't know what we can really talk about with that, but I just kind of wanted to plant the seed out there for black magicians to. There are no limits. There are no limits besides what you limit yourself with. And so if you look at the world and you're like, oh man, things could be different. You've got to do a bit of a game plan. You've got to set up the dominoes so they all hit each other in the perfect way. And you might not see the success, the final success that you want for years, or maybe not even in your life. But you have set something into motion that's going to bring the world closer to where you want it to be. Yeah. So that is an interesting kind of cool thing. I don't know if you have any thoughts that you want to throw out about these aeonic workings or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, well, what you just touched on there, and like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much, but that's something that we've done very recently, and it was another black magician, a brother of ours that originally reached out to me. He's like, hey, I'm planning to put together this group working to affect things on a global scale. And he's like, EA's down, this person's down, and we want you to be involved in it. And I was just like, okay, first of all, yeah, I'm 100% down, motherfucker. But think about this, think about that. Like we could be biting off more than we can chew here. Like the people that rule the world, they obviously have access to technology and all the knowledge that was stolen from us from our ancient ancestors. Like chances are, like we could get fucked up in the process, and he was just like, nah, man, we got this, we could do this. I was like, well, you know what, if nothing else, I'm a down motherfucker for the cause, so yeah, sign me up, I'm there. And dude, the working that we all did absolutely worked. It worked fast. It hit hard, and now we are watching it steadily every day play out as the trash gets taken out with a big FU to everyone that I would consider an enemy of humanity. So fuck yeah, man. You can do it. We can do it. We might be small, we might be a little part of the microcosm, but the microcosm is, we are a part of the macrocosm. And that's why, like, I named my YouTube channel Hijacking Reality. Like we were trying to hack in to the holographic projector that's projecting this holographic reality that we were all sharing in this consensual consciousness, consensual reality, and insert our will into the code of that computer program. And we can do anything, bro.
Yeah,
I truly believe we can do anything.
It's occurred to me as I've been building my own radionics devices, and at this point it's nuts. I just last weekend or the weekend before, I took my entire radionics setup from the temple out into my backyard and combined that with a fire ritual, and it's so off the charts. But it hits me that this is the same technology the government is using up in Alaska in their HARP projects. It's the same technology that they're using in multiple islands. Bouvet Island is one of them, where they're altering the weather with this exact same technology. And so what it makes me feel like is like, it makes me feel like an insurgent making IEDs at home. And it's like, I know that you got Tomahawk missiles. I know you got heat seeking this and that, the other. That's not going to stop me from making my IEDs and planting them where I can plant them, because that can actually win a war. That can actually win a war. And I do understand we are in the middle of an ideological spiritual war, and everybody thinks it's angels versus demons or good versus evil. No. It's your slave masters not wanting to lose you as their slave, and it's those of us that are sick of being slaves.
I could not possibly agree more with what you just said. And yeah, we might be small, but we wield one hell of a fucking hammer.
Well, and with these devices, radionics devices, but also the magical techniques that we've learned, we are learning ways of like hacking into the system. They did not want us to have this technology. They didn't want us to have these secrets. And my opinion is that's why I got shut down. It's not because of anything that I said that was wrong or anything like that. No, it's because I was giving people the secrets of power that they want to keep for themselves. And so with that, it became my mission. It's like, oh, I understand. You're afraid of these teachings. I'm going to make sure I get these to the masses as much as I can. That really encouraged me to keep doing what I do.
The worst thing that they could possibly do to themselves is admitting to the public the real reason that they want to shut you down or us down, because that would validate and prove to everyone, the public, once and for all, that the techniques and the radionics machines and everything that we work with actually works. It's actually real. No, it's much easier or much better for them to try to shut you down for a different reason, to make up some silly bullshit like, oh, this is why we're canceling them on YouTube. This is why we're, for these moral reasons that have nothing to do with us. Because if they said, you know what, these motherfuckers are really becoming a pain in our ass, and they are wreaking havoc on our evil design to enslave humanity through their little radionics machines and their black magic rituals. If they were to do that, then they would have to admit that what we teach and practice works and has value, which then they would really be fucked, because then everybody that thinks like us and is tired of being a slave will be like, man, I'm gonna get a radionics box, or man, I'm gonna start practicing black magic. Like, no, it's much easier to like say that you're just like a moral scumbag, or that you incite violence or something like that. And that's the reason we canceled him. Like, no, it's because they are scared. And that's why they tried to burn all the witches back in the day. Like, why would the most powerful force on earth, the Catholic Church and the people behind the Crusades and everything, like, why would they go out of their way to genocide everyone who thinks like us? That's because we were the greatest threat to the slave power structure that they were attempting to build in order to enslave the world, But nowadays we have freedom of religion. We have freedom of speech. We have YouTube. We have the internet. We can actually put this information out. So if they were to start like locking us up and burning us at the stake for playing with a radionics box or practicing a black magic ritual, then everybody in the world would be like, holy shit, this shit works. And then they would really be in trouble, because we outnumber them 100-1. And if we ever figure that out, then they are fucked, and they know it. So they got to try to think of other ways to shut our mouths, to silence us.
That's a huge point you just made, though, is that, Anton LaVey made this point about elephants, that when you get a baby elephant, you got to put a big chain on that baby elephant, because it hasn't been trained yet. It's gonna pull that chain all the time. But after a while, it starts realizing no matter how much it pulls, the chain's just gonna hold it there. So it starts relaxing. It stops pulling. You can get a smaller chain. You can downgrade that to just a rope. By the time the elephant is a full-grown, mature elephant, you see him at the circus. They just got a tiny little rope, like a little string. They could burst out of that so easy, but because they started with a chain, They don't need the rope. They don't need the chain. All they need is this little string. And it's like that is 100% the position that they've got us in. It's a small minority of very weak, very sickly people that are having to feed on the blood of the innocent to keep themselves even alive. And
Quite literally.
quite literally. And so there is, and yeah, the whole thing of every so often they've got to make sure we've got a mass human sacrifice in the form of a war that we can just dump all this energy that is being siphoned up. They got motherfuckers out there with vacuum cleaners sucking up all those souls for their own uses. Dude, yeah, yeah, no, but that is the thing. Like there is the mind of Lucifer has touched so many people, enlightening us through education, through the ability to read books and to have printed books, through now the internet. The light of Lucifer is touching all of our minds and waking a lot of people up to all of this. And so that's one of the funny things you do see, where you do see out of control countries like the United Kingdom is out of control tyrannical. And the people on the streets, the real people putting their podcasts out or that you can actually talk to on the streets, see it and they're calling it out. But then they've got all these fake dummy accounts that they're using online to try to make it look like the population agrees with the tyranny. And the population does not. The population, we're seeing that, and I think we're going to see that even more clearly as this decade goes on. I think it's going to get real. I think we're going to get real rough before 2030. I'll be honest. I don't know if we're making it to 2030.
I don't know either, brother, but I will say that for me personally, this is a very exciting time to be alive, and I'm happy to be here, if nothing else than to just bear witness to everything that is currently happening, is going to happen in the very near future, and no matter what, my side has been chosen, and I'm on our side. People are like, which side are you on? I'm like, ours.
Yeah.
Man. You know, the people that I love and care about, and the people that desire to take personal power in their own hand instead of laying down and giving up all their power to some tyrannical force in the name of, fucking protection or, safety. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, protection, safety, comfort, like that is. Yeah. Well, what would the forefathers of this country think? Like the amount of liberties that we've all just laid down. It's
first they would roll over in their graves, and then they would dig themselves out of their graves with the weapons they were buried with and start shooting. That's what I think.
Yeah, they kind of did give us that. They told us what the problem would be with the tyrannical government, and they gave us the solution of the Second Amendment. The first and the second. We need to be able to talk about it. We need to be able to come together and organize solutions, and then enact those solutions as we, the citizens, see fit.
So the best thing they could do is not only paint us as the moral bad guys, but also make us out to be kooks and quacks and, like crazy fringe science, woo-woo, whatever. Like no, because the worst thing you could ever do is validate us to the general public, because then you're admitting that what we do and practice actually works and has value. And we cannot have a million people like E.A. Koetting or J.S. Garrett out there playing with radionics boxes, all focused towards one cause, which is liberation, personal power, personal freedom. We can't have that, because they would be in trouble.
Yeah, they would be. And but the feeling I keep getting though is that the clock's running out for them anyways. And they're trying to cling on to whatever control that they have. That we're right on the edge of a crazy transformation. I can't even imagine it. Azazel tried to show it to me, and my mind goes stupid. And I said, what? He said, imagine going and telling telling a monkey that it would eventually become a man and it would go to the moon and it would do this and that and the other. And what would that monkey even do? How would it even, could it even understand your language? No. You would, it's the same thing as us trying to comprehend what we're about to become. And Magick is a part of it. You know, did you catch the latest UFO or UAP whistleblower, Jake Barber?
No, I did not. Not yet.
Oh, dude! So his whole thing, he went and he was flying the helicopter that captured an egg-shaped craft that they've got video on that they're circulating right now. But and everybody's getting lost in that, like, oh, look at the, you know, it's a night vision. And so people are picking apart that small video, but you got to listen to his interviews because the way they got that egg-shaped craft is through oh, I can't remember the name they give them, but basically meditators and channelers who go out and meditate and channel and invoke these objects. And so egg-shaped craft, triangular craft, pyramid craft, and saucers all will appear, and orbs all appear with these groups of government fucking agents sitting there doing a ritual of evocation to summon these freaking these objects. So there's something going on with the UFO experience, with the UAP thing, that's not just a craft from another planet. No, these things are responding to magical stuff. You know, the Bob, what's his bucket? The Area 51 says you see there's no controls in the craft. And so you've got to control it, obviously, with your mind. I think you and me, we could sit in there and we could fly that craft all over the place because we already know how to do that. So that is the problem, that they already know what we're catching on to, and they're afraid of us getting a little too far ahead, because if we can start summoning the alien craft, then that's what kind of advantage do they have over us?
I think we should try it.
Dude, I would love to. Let's do it.
Whenever, you know, like I said, we didn't, or like you said, we didn't really have a plan on what we were going to talk about when we got on here, but I think one of the talking points that we were going to mention was the boot camp coming up in April. Towards the end of April, some of the group rituals and things that we were going to work on while we were out there. And like, you know, for me, I just want to continue pushing the limits. It's like, okay, we did one last April. It was fucking badass. I was fortunate enough to be a part of some of the most, like, what I would consider intense and powerful group rituals that have ever been performed. And the question I've had in my mind since then is, like, when we do it again, how can we amp it up and make it better? How can we take it up a notch? And we're definitely going to do that. We are definitely going to do that. We vet anyone who signs up for this. Anybody that signs up for this boot camp through jsgarrett.net, the Obsidian Wasteland boot camp, you're going to have to get on and talk to either me or EA Koetting or El the Alchemist in person and discuss, you know, what your goals are and why you want to be there. And we're going to do some of the most hardcore badass rituals that have ever been conceived. And as far as experiments, like what you were just talking about, like, how cool would that be if we went up to like a mountaintop in Utah and attempted to summon a UFO? And you know, I don't even give a shit if we get it on video or not. I want to make contact. Like, no, okay, there you are. Come down here. Come down here and shake my hand. We're not afraid of you. We want to be your friend. We want to fucking see what you have to say. That would be awesome, man.
That would be. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Right.
You know, there's and this is actually kind of getting at the shift that I do think is happening, is that the things that once were energy are now becoming physical, and so I do think it's becoming more and more possible that we could summon forth physical craft, physical objects, or open up physical portals. I think there's amazing, and actually we've been seeing a lot of physical portals and all these very strange fires that keep popping out. When you look at videos of them, you can see the fire tornadoes. And when you look at those, you get hypnotized by them. You get pulled into them. That these aren't just physical occurrences. These are portals.
Yeah. Man, people ask me, like, you know, like, what do you lose the most sleep over? And I'm just like, laying there contemplating and dissecting and thinking about all of the crazy shit that we're witnessing now in this day and age that I don't understand and can't make sense out of, I'm laying there trying to make sense out of that, as I fall asleep. And then I'll fall asleep thinking about it, and then I'll dream about it. And I'll have like the craziest, most vivid dreams where I'll encounter what I perceive to be some of the entities that we work with. And they will like give me pieces of the puzzle, not only symbolically, but like straight up. Like, this is the question you were asking. Here's the fucking answer. And I'll take that information. Like, I'll wake up and I'll remember it. A lot of dreams I don't remember. They're just like foggy, fever dreams, whatever. I'll wake up, I'll remember them for a few minutes, and it starts to fade. But like, no, these dreams are different. They're like very detailed, very vivid. And I'm aware that I'm dreaming during it. I'm just like, I know this is a dream, or I know I'm asleep, but I don't think this is a dream. I think I'm really interacting with something here. And those are the ones that stick with me, and I never forget them. And I get some of my best inspiration and ideas and answers to shit that I've been asking, as far as keys to making rituals work or accomplishing certain things through either radionics or ritual magic. Like that's where it's something else talking to us, man. It is something else that is downloading this information and giving us the keys that we're asking for in order to obtain the personal power that we crave, because we're all trying not to be slaves here, and we have been enslaved as a human race. And I for one, like that is the thing that keeps me up more than anything at night, is laying there trying to figure out how to not be a slave to someone else, because no one else has the right to tell me what to do or pay them taxes or fucking anything else. Like, we should all have the right to do whatever we want, go where we want, fend for ourselves, and we don't have that right. And that's what I want.
Yeah. No, 100%, brother. 100%. It is like waking up and going, how do I get that key to work in these handcuffs? Just a little bit more. I can get them loose. If I can get one more notch off, I'm a little bit closer. And that is the thing. We do find ourselves freeing ourselves from the chains bit by bit. But yeah, it is that's interesting. That is, and that really also describes a lot of the people that we help and that we work with, and a lot of our students and our clients, that they'll come to us, and being on the outside, it's real easy to see. It's like, oh yeah, you got this chain that's holding you back. If you just break that thing, then you're golden. But it's so hard to see those when you're the one that's chained. And but it is like a group effort though too, because it is like, I can't just be free. And then then I'm just free, and I let all you motherfuckers drown. Like, that's not how this works. It's all of us. Like, it's a matter of the entire human species is ready to be free.
Yeah, I agree. And the path of a black magician is the path of a loner. But I'm starting to realize that that's a flawed way of thinking. Like, I need my fucking brothers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure, that we do need to come together. And there is that with that loner, that there is a part of that though, that yeah, we work from the shadows. I don't expect to be shaking the hands of the president, but I know I'm putting things into power that are whispering in his ear.
Yeah,
so 100%. All right, dude, I got to bounce off with you. This has been awesome.
What?
Oh, you got to show me you got to show and tell.
I got to show and tell. I got to show and tell if you got a second.
That's right. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Siren actually just walked in. Come here, babe.
So this is the first part. The first part of the show.
She wants to say hey.
Hi.
Hello. Good to see ya.
This is my lovely goddess Siren, and she bought me this sword for Christmas.
Awesome.
I am in love. You want to show it?
It's yours, honey.
You don't want to hold the sword?
No.
Okay. This is a battle-ready Athenian style Greek sword. It's very similar. It's modeled after the one that Brad Pitt carried in Troy, when he played Achilles. Like, it is razor sharp on both ends. It's like, oh my God, I'm in love. I'm in love, and I've yet to blood this in ritual yet, but I plan on performing a group rite for all of us in the near future where I get a goat. I found an auction where I can buy goats, and I'm going to attempt to take the head all the way off with this bad boy. It's beautiful. It's even got a little heart-shaped handle there.
Oh, dude, that is sick.
Yeah, because she loves me. But, all
And
right.
let me see. Let me look a little closer at the whole handle. Is that because it looks like, yeah, that is a full tang. That's running the steel is running all the way through
Yes.
it. It's riveted
All the way
on,
down
dude.
to the bottom.
Oh, wow.
It is virtually indestructible, man.
Yeah, I bet that's got
That is,
I bet that's got a really thick sound when you swoop it through the air. Woof.
yes.
If you go over TikTok, he demonstrates. There's a video.
Oh, for real? All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I chopped through this. We filled up a giant water jug, and I set it on the kitchen sink, and I'm like swinging around and like, why and slice right through it. Yeah, it's badass.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome. Nice, nice. Dude, I love swords. That's a real weapon of mass destruction right there.
It's the gift that keeps on giving forever, as long as you sharpen it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Awesome, brother. It's been awesome catching up with you. Now, everybody. So end of April is when we're going to be having this Obsidian Wasteland boot camp right here in southern Utah. So hit up jsgarrett.net. Check out the Obsidian Wasteland boot camp. That's going to be me, JS Garrett, and LD Alchemist. And we're going to keep this a small group. So that way we can just give you everything that we've got. Anything, no matter what level of experience you're at, you're going to get something crazy out of this. We're going to get something crazy out of this, and we've been doing this our whole lives. So yeah, come on out to that. We would love to have you. Really, only practicing magicians. We don't want photographers there. We don't want reporters there. Just practicing magicians.
Oh yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, dude. Love you, brother. We'll talk soon.
Empire. Love you, bro.
You too, bro.